Good morning, delegates, chairperson. Let me start by first of all welcoming the Ambassador to say that we're delighted to have you in our presence this morning. You're very welcome, Doctor. We're absolutely delighted to have you here. I just want to say in relation to Motion 82 that we have made clear that the government has an open mind about any action, including the early recognition of Palestine, which can positively contribute to the goal which we all share of an end to the conflict and a secure future for both Palestinians and Israelis. All of our actions and policies at EU level and international level are constructively designed to advance the goal of peace and secure a comprehensive peace agreement at the earliest opportunity. And Ireland has always favoured the achievement of a fully sovereign Palestinian state, and until now, along with other EU members, we have always seen this as part of an overall agreement, because in practice, the achievement of a fully sovereign state requires the ending of the occupation, and we have to be very clear about that. But I welcome the recent initiative by the EU High Representative Francesca Mogherini, who has initiated a broad reappraisal of the Middle East peace process and EU policy in that regard, and we welcome that. I just want to say in a few short words that the Irish people, through their hard-won to taxation, to their hard-won tax dollars, are very committed to ensuring that we continue through Irish Aid and other partners of funding into the Palestinian Authority into that region. The programme has grown steadily from a total of about €4.49 million in 2005 to about €11.28 million in 2014. And a total of €89 million approximately has been provided to the Palestinian people, since 2005. And I want to assure our members here that we are very committed to supporting the Palestinian Authority and the people of that region, and particularly in relation to reconstruction. In relation to Syria, nobody doubts the magnitude and the scale of this crisis. It is probably one of the greatest humanitarian crises that we've seen in this generation. But I have to say that Ireland is still very committed to that crisis. And 2014, our government has committed €14.9 million in funding to address the Syria crisis via our NGO partners, the UN and the Red Cross and the Red Crescent. Since 2014, since 2010, I think we've approximately invested, if you can use that term, about €30.8 million. I use those figures. It's perhaps a crass way of articulating that we are committed insofar as we can to ensuring that the Syrian people who are bereft of the most basic needs at present, that we continue that commitment to those people, where at the moment you see a situation more than 2 million children are without full-time education. 12 million people in need of humanitarian assistance. 12 million people in need of humanitarian assistance. But I want to assure delegates that our party and this government are absolutely committed to ensuring our commitment to Syria. In relation to and in proposing Motion 84, if that is appropriate at this juncture, I just want to state that the Stormont House Agreement was hard won. It was hard won, and it was against the odds. Nobody expected us to get a deal over the line, and this was the two parties in government together, spending 12 weeks approximately in the confines of Stormont House and hammering out that deal with all five parties in the executive, and ensuring that we retain our commitment to the people on all sides of the divide, if you will, and north and south. And I stand before you as the first Minister for North-South cooperation, and the agreement, while it was difficult to put together, it is important that we in the Irish government and we in the Labour Party make sure that we continue to monitor that agreement and everything that arises from it, and we are very committed to doing that, and we've put in place a number of mechanisms that would facilitate that. I just want to state that the plan does, or the agreement does, set out a plan for financial and welfare reform. It proposes a way forward on flags, identity, culture and tradition through the establishment of a commission. It envisages the devolution of responsibility for parades to the Northern Ireland Assembly, with proposals on parading to be brought to the Executive by June 2015. It establishes a programme of institutional reform at Stormont and progresses a number of outstanding aspects from the Good Friday Agreement and St Andrews Agreement. And I note Sean's point in relation to perhaps na Gaeilge, for instance. We didn't win the concession on that, but there is a commission to be set up by the relevant minister in that respect, and that's some progress. And that's one of the outstanding issues of previous agreements. But we continue to raise issues with the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland in relation to outstanding issues, particularly in relation to issues dealing with the legacy of the past. But we will, through this agreement, or you will see the setting up of a historical investigations unit, an independent commission for information retrieval, an oral history archive. And I too, want to acknowledge the fact that the leader of the SDLP was here, came down from Belfast yesterday to join us here at this conference, to have what I felt was a good discussion and a good debate about the nature of politics in Northern Ireland at the moment. And if you bear with me, Chair, and to see how we can continue as a party and work with our sister party in the North, the SDLP, to ensure that their place in the polity of Northern Ireland it remains to be, they're an important part, and we must continue to support them in every way that we can, because I think it is true to say that without the SDLP, there would be a danger that the two larger parties could, if you will, and this is an objective view, carve it up between them. And I think we need to have space for the debate so that the middle ground and people who occupy that rational space, such as the SDLP, are an essential feature and integral to the future of Northern Ireland, and we must continue to support them and make no apologies about supporting them in every way that we can into the future, because they were integral to this agreement. Yes, I acknowledge the SDLP's right, if you will, in relation to the welfare provisions that are going through Stormont at present, and that is the mandate that they have from the people, and they're entitled to proceed with that mandate in any way that they see fit. But I just want to say that from an Irish government perspective, we are as committed now to the people of Northern Ireland, and I think as a party, and certainly since I took up the role as Minister for North-South Cooperation, I'm absolutely committed to ensuring that we can build further on the threads that are there, on programmes like Horizon 2020, on tourism, on job creation, and on those things that unite us as an island, because there is more that unites us as an island than divides us, and we must continue to work on those issues. Chair, I thank you for your latitude.
No problem. Was I nicer than the hustings? I got